Okay, I'm going to take it a little slower with these next problems. So we're going to do number 4 together. So I've got the equation up here that I need. We're going to take each of these separately and we're going to add them as we go. Okay, so we're going to start with the CO2. Now I do not need 2 CO2 because I only have 1 up here. So I'm going to multiply everything by half or divide everything by 2, however you want to say it. So I'm going to start with CO2 plus half of 3 is 3/2 H2O. And then I've got my arrow, C2H, oh, nope, this is going to be half C2H6. And then half of 7/2. So if I have 7/2 and I need half of that, so that's dividing by 2, which would be the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, which would be the same as multiplying by half. I'm going to end up with 7/4 of O2. Okay. So there's where I'm starting. Can't cancel anything out yet. I also need a C on this side. So I'm going to take this equation that has a C on the right, and I'm going to divide that by 2. Oops. So this equation, I need to take my H divided by 2. This equation, let me make a note here. So this one, divide by 2. This one I'm also going to divide by 2. Okay. So I'm going to have C plus 3/2 H2. And then I'll have my C half C2H6. Okay. What can I cancel from here? I can cancel my half and half because they're on opposite sides of the arrow. Okay, so just like with math, if I would add this all together, I could cancel that. Well, I'm going to cancel it up here first. So I'm going to end up with CO2 plus 3/2 H2O gives me C plus 3/2 H2 plus 7/4 O2. So I just took these and put them into one equation now. Okay. I need O2, but I don't want 7/4 O2. I need 1 O2. So 1 O2 would be 4/4. So I need to get rid of 3/4. So that's going to be a little more complex here. So how do I get half to 3/4? So I'm going to have to multiply by 2 on the bottom, 3 on the top, and that'll get me 3/4. So I'm going to be multiplying this one, oops, by 3/2 in order to get rid of my oxygen. And that actually will end up working out because I've got 3/2 H2. So this is going to look like, I'm going to write it down here so you kind of know. So if I'm multiplying by 3/2, I'm going to have 3/2. Okay, so then we're going to have the 3/2 H2O. We're going to have 3/2 H2. And we're going to have 3/2 times the half oxygen, which we said was going to give us 3/4 of O2. Now, we don't want the oxygens on the same side. So that means we're going to have to reverse this, which is then going to make this negative, right? So I'm going to rewrite this up here such that I'm flipping the equation, which is then making this a negative value. So, oh, and actually I should just say negative here because we're really just changing this to being negative since it's the reverse reaction. So we're going to have 3/4 O2 plus 3/2 H2 gives us 3/2 H2O. Okay, get rid of that. Okay, so now, since we have 3/2 H2O on both sides, we can cancel them. Since we have 3/2 H2 on both sides, we can cancel them. And since we have 3/4 of O2 here and 7/4 of O2 here, 7 minus 3 is going to give me 4. So that's 4/4 left, which is just O2. So in the end, when we add these together, we're going to have the CO2 goes to C plus O2. Now, I have my values written down here. So if I use my calculator, this first equation was negative 643 times 3 divided by 2, which is going to be a negative 964.5. And then 190.6 divided by 2 is going to be 95.3. And 3511.1 divided by 2 gives me 1755.55. Okay, now we'll add those up, plus 95.3, and then that's a negative, so minus 964.5, and we end up with 886.35.